The Jaguars say they're after talent and character as they try to build a winner. Well, their talented first-round draft pick brings questions about his character when he's arrested for a second time. We're hearing your views in our conversation room, and we're talking with a sports agent and lawyer. Plus, the race to replace a state senator. The men competing for Senate District 4 include longtime professionals and experienced campaigners. We speak with both this morning on This Week in Jacksonville. Thanks for joining us this Sunday morning. Justin Blackmon busted. A trip home turned into a visit to jail for the Jaguars' first-round draft pick. Now, this is what the hometown team wants fans to think of when dreaming about the NFL potential of this wide receiver. Not this, a mugshot wearing an orange jumpsuit. Police in Stillwater, Oklahoma arrested Blackmon a week ago and charged him with aggravated DUI. So joining us now is John Phillips, NFL certified sports agent and a criminal defense attorney here in Jacksonville. So when we talked through this over the course of a week, it's just bad for business. It's a bad deal, and we know that Justin Blackmon has pleaded not guilty to this, but it's still kind of a bad thing to have even happen. It's
a bad PR hit, and it's not over. He's still, as of now, he's still looking to go to trial. The state attorney says they're not going to deal on this conviction, so it's going to go on. And this was the 7th DUI for the NFL, the 2nd run-in for the Jaguars with the law this year alone. It's bad stuff.
So when we talk about this, we talked earlier this week about the kind of the entitlement that you see. How do you solve that? How do you help a younger guy, like a first-round draft pick, know this is not behavior that's going to get you ahead in your career with the fans, with the league?
Right. One would hope the NFLPA is the union for the players, and one would hope that the NFLPA would be more proactive. They do a symposium, but it hasn't even occurred yet for these guys. And so it's almost too late, and some of it you're just not going to solve. 78% go bankrupt.
Right.
It's just, there's just some fractured mentality of kind of like a child star. You know, the child star that you know, was a big deal, and then they crash. Well, we're in that Drew Barrymore transition phase for these guys where they have the money and the resources to just find trouble.
John, let me ask about this. I know that agents can work closely with their clients depending on what that relationship is like. Is there something agents do with their clients to say, hey, here's what you're getting into, here's how you don't go down that path?
Absolutely. And that's part of the problem is most of the players choose agents. A Drew Rosenhaus example that has 150, 170 players, all he's doing is taking phone calls back and forth. You know, that's what we call an ATM machine. They're just managing the balance. Players need a CTO of $1 million corporation, and you don't see, you know, mid-major corporations all having the same CEO. It's like we limit the players we take just to a certain frame and a certain amount because you've got to manage this thing as a big picture. 78% going bankrupt is a problem. 50 overall being arrested every year, 50 to 60 every year.
You're talking about NFL players.
NFL players alone.
Yeah. Well, let's hear from Blackmon. He spoke with media Wednesday, and he gave an apology for his actions even while he pleaded not guilty to the DUI.
I feel terrible. I mean, you know, not only, you know, letting down this organization, but, you know, my family and, you know, friends back home with the, you know, decision I made, you know, poor, selfish decision that I made, you know, that could have all been changed.
Really, a lot could have changed because what we're hearing, the evidence is being presented is that he wasn't just kind of drunk. You provided a DUI chart. Let's take a look at that because I think that kind of shows. You said he was not even on the scale of...
Right. The chart goes, again, it's good to be off the charts when you're talking about the NFL Combine. But this is one where, you know, he blew a .24. He blew a .26 as well, but they take the lower figure.
Right. And let me point out, what we're looking at is the colors here, kind of the red or orange color there. That's bad. That's legally intoxicated.
He was about 215 pounds at this time. So you're looking at 14, 16 drinks. Again, this was at 3 a.m. So it's over the course of a night. So he had a lot to drink to make a very terrible decision. 10,000 people die every year in this country due to DUI. I had a client have broke his back last year because of a DUI incident. It's no laughing matter, and it's not something that should be okay.
Obviously not just for the person driving who may be intoxicated, but the other people on there as well. Stay with us, and when we come back, we're going to go to the conversation room. We're going to get your comments, so stay with us.
You're watching This Week in Jacksonville on Channel 4.
John Phillips is staying with us here. He's got a radio show 9 to 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings on WOKV, Courts and Sports. Well, we've got to hear, John. Let's go to our conversation room. On Facebook, we're hearing from some of you after Justin Blackmon's apology even. Paul wrote in and said he needs kicked out of the NFL. The NFL needs to get a grip, to start to get a grip on their people. Bill, kind of similar, even a little more harsh here. Why did the Jaguars pick this person, knowing he had a conviction before, kick him to the curb, but continue? We do not need another loser. He blew a .3 and .8 sloppy drunk, not a couple of drinks. This is kind of harsh criticism from the fans.
It is harsh criticism, but he wasn't hired to be a Boy Scout or a school teacher. He was hired because of his performance, what will be his performance on the field. And he's a spectacular athlete. You know, you'd hope these guys are role models and they'd embrace that role. But again, a 23-year-old celebrating, you know, the impending multi-million-dollar contract, you can almost justify it a little bit, but the .24 in the driving is what kind of infuriates me and the public.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hear some more of your comments here. Shannon, a little softer side from one of the fans here. It's so sad. Yes, this is his second DUI, but we all deserve another chance. I believe in him just as the Jags do. Let me show you another comment here. Julian, players getting reactions. Maybe they would be better role models to younger ones that look up to them and their profession, and then finishes off a good shame on you, Mr. Blackmon. Is Mr. Blackmon feeling some of the shame here? This week he talked at a news conference. He did say, he said the right things, didn't he?
He did. And in Friday's paper, I wrote a piece that was DUI doesn't understand integrity. And I called him out and I said, is this an integrity issue? Because you said this last time, you said this time, you know, fool me twice. Shame on me. Now,
right.
Come on, let's get on the field. Let's stop drinking, stop the antics, and you know, you have 4 7-year stage to truly be a role model for kids and do it.
Pro athletes, they just get bored in the downtime. Is there not enough to do otherwise? Or?
It's, you know, again, it's that child star. You've got resources you've never had before, and you're coming into that adulthood. They
Right.
never have lived a normal life. You know, they from the time they were.
And that's not every athlete,
7.
but certainly a lot of professional athletes. And do want to point out that the Jaguars have some great citizens, some great people who have been involved in our community. And maybe Justin Blackmon will end up being one of those great citizens.
He didn't, you know, thankfully nobody's injured. And this is definitely a lesson. Hopefully, you know, after the second time, it's not only taught him a lesson, but the rest of the league and professionals in general.
Yeah. John Phillips joining, appreciate it. NFL certified sports agent for that league and a criminal defense attorney. Appreciate your insights here, and of course here on your radio show.
My pleasure.
All right, so This Week in Jacksonville airs each Sunday morning at this time. Obviously, we're going into a season that's going to have lots of campaigning, lots of different things to talk about. So stay with us Sunday mornings at 9. And Kent Justice, thanks for watching and for taking part today.